Cliff Schecter is with us. He's a progressive PR strategist, Huffington Post contributor, author of the book The Real McCain. His website is libertasllc.com. And Cliff, welcome back to the program.
Thanks, Tom. How are you, buddy?
I'm just great. The state that you live in, the Ohio, the Republicans are defending a budget that nakedly, openly favors the rich. Do I have that right?
Yeah, it certainly does. It's nice to see them come out of that closet at this point and just sort of admit what they're doing.
And this is Governor John Kasich. Give us the details.
Well, basically, I mean, you've got a budget. It just was approved by the Senate, and it cuts funding. I mean, it would take me your entire show to sit here and list all the people it hurts. You know, education for lower income folks. It cuts funding from health care, a whole variety of programs. They've already assaulted collective bargaining, the prevailing wage. You know, they call it shared sacrifice. We all have to sacrifice. Of course, not among those sacrificing are the top 8% of estates in Ohio that will have the estate tax eliminated. Not sacrificing also those making over $200,000 a year that will get the biggest amount of the pie in income tax cuts that they're going to pass. And a number of wealthy school districts that magically get their funding increased. So, I mean, this is sort of naked class war. They're not even hiding it behind social issues anymore. It's just right there in your face.
Are Ohioans figuring this out?
They are. And it's a shame it happened too late. I mean, I was one who, way back when we had a Democratic governor, Ted Strickland, I wish that he had ran a more populist campaign and kind of showed the difference between himself and Kasich. I think Kasich tried to hide a lot of the hard edges, and I don't think Strickland pointed out enough what he would do. And sadly, I think a lot of people fell for Kasich's black magic or whatever.
Well, he was a Fox News guy. I mean, he knew the media. He knew how to spin stuff. He was a professional communicator.
And really, how can you not like Fox News guys?
Right. Well, at least if you're a Republican. I mean, it's.
I know.
But I think my sense of it is that unless there is a Great Depression, and I think that there will be, frankly, but if there's not, I think that the Republicans have nothing. And they're going to lose horribly. And if there is, they may well succeed in blaming everything on Obama, as they tried to do in the debate last night. I'm curious about your thoughts on that and on this famous, the seven dwarfs plus Prince Charming last night. And my theory that Tim Pawlenty made it very clear last night. He's not running for president. He's running for vice president.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They've got their Prince Charming, although I do hope Rick Perry gets in so they can kind of have a battle of the L.A. Looks bottles between Romney and Rick Perry to see who can use more hairspray per moment. But back to what you said, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And it worries me because Romney came out with this new ad. You might have seen the Bump in the Road ad. And this is why so many of us, yourself and me and many others, were screaming for President Obama to push for a larger stimulus, not push, fight. Right. For a larger stimulus to fight for jobs and make that the number one priority, not this deficit nonsense. Because, they may just, it worries me. I think you're right. I think they're in a terrible situation right now. We saw that in that race in upstate New York. But they may just get away with blaming the people in power. And right now, in the Senate and obviously the White House, those are Democrats. And it scares the hell out of me when you see someone like Michelle Bachmann up on the stage there.
I think they set this thing up almost a year ago. You would probably know the date better than me. You're a pretty keen political observer. President Obama is not a seasoned political hand, and the Republican Party has a bunch of them, including in particular Mitch McConnell and John Boehner. And they made a deal with Obama that he, in my opinion, naively took with the very best of intentions. He thought, I believe, that by 2012 the economy would be recovering. He was trusting his economic advisors, which was a mistake. And so the bet that he made was that by 2012 there wouldn't be so much unemployment, so it wouldn't be so much of a problem. And the Republicans were, betting that the unemployment would continue to be bad because they were going to prevent the government from being the employer of last resort, and nothing structural was changing. And so what they did was they said, we'll make you a deal. You give us 2 years of Bush tax cuts, and we'll give you 1 year of unemployment. That 1 year is this year, 2011. At the end of 2011, the unemployment extensions vanish, which means next year the economy is going to be far worse because, A, you're going to have all these unemployed people who are going to lose their benefits, so poverty is going to explode, discontent is going to explode, a lot of people are going to be really angry, really upset, and secondly, and perhaps more importantly, those people who are getting unemployment benefits and are no longer getting them starting at the beginning of the election year, 2012, won't have any money to spend. And when they don't have money to spend, they're not stimulating the economy, which is going to make it twice as hard to get us out of this ditch, which means that going into November 2012, even if the bottom doesn't fall out and there's not a Great Depression, if it's just that factor, the economy, you're going to have another 1 point increase in unemployment at least.
And I agree, and that's what's scary. Look, I mean, we are giving all these rich people a tax cut, though, and as you know, that's very helpful in creating jobs in China.
Right.
So we're doing nice work for them, but otherwise...
And for Swiss bankers.
Yes, exactly. And look, when Obama bought into this deficit nonsense, whether he did it because he believed it, I mean, remember, he overrode the House and chose to form this commission. You know, it's about bad policy, and it's about bad politics. He didn't separate himself enough from the Republicans. And you're right. I think they sat down. He naively or for whatever reason, accepted this deal. You're exactly right, and figured the economy would be okay. Maybe he's listening to these advisors of his, the neoliberal advisors, not listening to the Krugmans and Stiglitzes, who he should have been listening to.
Right.
And now, I mean, I'm very concerned.
Yeah, we need to get Robert Reich back in the White House. We need to get Paul Krugman in there. We need to, and I'm guessing, Cliff Schecter, that we're pretty close to a come to Jesus moment here for the president on economic policies. But time will tell. Cliff Schecter, LibertasLLC.com. Thanks, Cliff.
Thanks so much, Tom.